This is a meeting of the Community and Economic Development Committee. It is Monday, February 9th, approximately 6:50 p.m. And we have two items this evening. The first is to provide a recommendation to council regarding the annexation petition filed for 0.667 acres from Concord Township, known as the McAdams annexation at 3110 West Fenner Road, and the three required pieces of legislation. Mr. Tittering, did you have any other information?
Sure. So we did receive a Type 2 expedited annexation request. Actually, we're submitting it on behalf of the property owner. You may recall it's probably been 2 months now since the larger parcel, if you look at your Exhibit B, included in your report, was annexed into the city. The top right corner is the McAdams property, and this would square off that section. Yes, there is a small section to the west that declined to annex at this point, but the McAdams is willing to do that, and it is again 2/3 of an acre. And as part of this process, I will say, as always, this is requested as emergency legislation, and that is because with this annexation procedure, there are very strict deadlines, timelines that we have to follow. You will see three pieces of legislation related to this if you're in support of it. We will have the traditional statement of municipal services, basically that we would provide this property the same level of services that we provide any other property within the city, and then also approve legislation that recognizes the need to enforce buffering if there are incompatible zoning. We don't anticipate that, but it is a standard piece of legislation. And then the third and final one, perhaps the most important one, is whether or not you consent to the annexation and want to accept it. Again, there's strict timelines, and so we are requesting consideration of emergency legislation.
Okay. Are there any questions from committee members about this annexation?
I do not have any.
Okay, I do not have any questions, so your recommendation?
Proceed forward
With emergency?
with emergency, yes.
Mr. Cliff?
Move forward with emergency.
So it's unanimous to move forward with?
I'm gonna ask.
Oh, I'm sorry. We're all in the fog.
Lynn's tough tonight.
I'm
No one
ready
else
to
is
move,
getting
yeah.
it.
Are there any other
They're in
questions
favor
from
with you
anyone?
too, so.
About the annexation, other council members, members of the public? All right, now our recommendation to move forward.
Move forward with
It's
emergency.
unanimous to move forward with emergency for that
Okay.
annexation. Thank you. Our second item is to provide a recommendation to council regarding authorizing the Director of Public Service and Safety to enter into a performance contract for a concert on June 6th, 2026 at a cost not to exceed $100,000. Understanding that this is unusual. So Mr. Titterington, did you have any other
Yeah.
information?
Oh, there it is. He had to make a grand entrance. He always
Ken?
does.
No.
He's a performer himself, right? Ken,
Is
you
Mr.
wanna-
Seiler making the?
You want to come on up? You know, your timing was perfect.
Impeccable.
Almost as good as Leno's the other evening. Yeah, while Ken is making his way up to hopefully describe a little bit more detail what the event is, I'll kind of preface it by saying that understand that this is a unique situation. I do want to remind the council that was, and I believe most of you were able to be at the 2026 budget discussion. This is one of the first items that I called out, recognizing that as part of the America 250 once-in-a-lifetime type event, that we recommended that specifically $100,000 be put aside for something unique, something large, something, I guess, Troy-like, for lack of a better description. We have that opportunity. There is some urgency, and we are asking for emergency legislation. Now, recognizing that, it's not the most transparent process that we've ever been accused of not doing, and that is because this has been an ongoing, I wouldn't say drama, but it's a process, and it can tell you he goes through this all the time. We don't, so we were a little, I don't know, I wouldn't say shocked, but it was a little frustrating from time to time. This is a committee, this is a recommendation from a committee that is now trying to get engaged in all of the logistics of pulling something like this off with less than 4 months left to go. This band that we'd like authorization to sign is a band that was at the top of the list initially. When we approached them, when Ken reached out to them through his promoter, they were their national act, and they were in the process of trying to finalize a tour with another national act that would have taken them away from Troy, so we then went to the next on the list. That band did not work out. Their schedule was, I don't know, across the country that time, and so we could not make that work. But we lucked out because the band that we're talking about, all of which is, unfortunately confidential until, I don't know, maybe the end of the week, reached back out to us because their initial scheduling with this other band didn't work out, so it kind of fell in our lap. This only happened within the last few days, week and a half, and so paperwork had to be passed back and forth and looked at for us to be able to get to at least this point to bring this to you. There is some urgency. I mentioned that we have less than 4 months, a little over 3 months. I won't get into the details of what we want to do. I'll let Ken. Ken's the excitable one, and he can do that better than I could. It is something, though, that the reason for the special meeting tonight is so that we can get it authorized and we can then jump into all of the logistics. I will say that we deliberately, and in partnership with the chamber, we not only wanted to cross-promote both the 250 plus the 50th Strawberry Festival, but knew realistically months ago that we would never pull something off like this if we did it as a standalone project, even a few months before. But by being able to leverage and, as I call it, supersize the logistic aspects of sanitation and security and all of the shuttle services and the whole thing, that we should be able to pull this off. We do have a committee of 15 different people from nearly that many organizations, public and private, that are working together so far, and so time is of the essence. And with that, I'd ask Ken to kind of fill in some of the more details without naming the band.
Well, I'll do my best. This becomes a very frustrating process. We go through this often when we are working with trying to get events at the arena and submitting offers and waiting for 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 months and then never getting a response back, or maybe you get a response back and then they want you to get the paperwork back to them like it was yesterday and you've been waiting on them for 6 months. So this is kind of typically how a lot of this often works. But we are very excited to all of the groups that we've been working together, and we kind of came up with a list of some of those groups that we felt we wanted to target based on initial list of available acts that was provided to us. And, you know, we're excited the fact that the act that we potentially have the opportunity here to get was really at the top of our list. So I know it's kind of difficult, the fact that we can't really express who that may be, but basically how it works is, in order for us to be able to proceed with the contract or proceed with announcing the act, we have to provide them with a 50% deposit. Generally, we do have to provide deposits when we do acts at the arena. The timing of that varies depending upon the act, but in this particular case, probably more so because it's a free event, community event versus a ticketed event. We must provide them with a deposit before we're able to announce the show. So that's kind of the limiting factor here. We're up against a bit of a time crunch. One, to commit to them, because if we don't commit to them, we likely will lose the opportunity for this act to be part of our event. But then two, just from a timing perspective, to be able to get things out there, get it advertised, finalize all the logistics, and begin to work towards getting the plan in place to provide a successful event for our community. So I don't know what questions I may be able to help to answer. If it's
Well, I
as
think
clear
that-
as mud.
Yeah, we have to be mysterious about the band, but we can probably fill in, and I was remiss, the directors, I'll use that generically because I know there are different titles, but Troy Main Street's here, the Troy Foundation's here, the director, president of the chamber, and Troy Strawberry Festival, they're all here in the audience to show support for this effort. While we can't tell you the name of the band, the intention, though, is that this event would be held on June 6th. It would be, I believe, starting at 7:30. Is that what we said?
7:30, yep.
For an opening act, and then the main act following that. We do have authorization to use the stadium, as long as folks don't bring lawn chairs or any kind of furniture. They can stand or sit or blanket on the field. We would bring in it's portable, but it's pretty big, a semi-trailer stage that would not be on the field. It would be on the track, and the school is 100% supportive of that, to the point where, recognizing the event and how it kind of relates, and it's in a smaller scale. I don't want people thinking we're bringing Mumford and Sons back, because I wish we could, but that might be a little spot on since it's Independence Day celebration and that's a British band. But I thought that would have been pretty ironic myself. But we believe that it will be well attended. The schools have also provided a letter of support for a future. We'll be bringing a request to submit a new DORA application, and that DORA application would expand the boundaries, the map, in several ways, including the stadium. That would be the same temporary activation that you will hopefully act on at Treasure Island. So it would not be part of the permanent DORA. It would require permission of the several property owners, including the school. But that's the kind of event that we want to hopefully pull off. There will be some we anticipate private donations and support. They are not confirmed yet. Otherwise, we will share those when they are confirmed. But that's the kind of event that we hope to pull off, weather permitting, of course, knock on wood.
All right. I just think I want to say that I at the outset, want to just recognize the uniqueness of this, and that, as Mr. Titterington said, it's not maybe the usual way that we approve things, but it is a one-time, very unique event, which I think sounds amazing for the community. And I'll ask if there are any other questions about things from committee members.
So we don't have any confirmation of grants or donations yet, correct?
That's correct.
Is there any opportunity, or is there any thought of, like, the liquor sales that may happen inside, or are we not allowing liquor sales inside of the concert? And if we do, are they allowed to be a fundraising effort for groups that may apply for it, or anything like that?
Those are details that we're going over, but we had talked about having some sales in the stadium. We're working with the Chamber and the Strawberry Festival, since this is this will be marketed as the AM 250 concert at the 50th Troy Strawberry Festival. So really wanted to make this a true partnership, and so there'll be merchandise sales, there'll be alcohol sales, and recall also that Strawberry Festival already uses the Dora and does avail themselves of those opportunities as well. And so certainly, those are part of the details that we're still
Working
getting
out.
together, yeah.
That's all I have.
Questions? Mr. Twist?
I don't have any questions.
Okay. Any other members of council? Questions? Is there anyone in the audience who has questions about this? Okay. Yes, sir. If you just state your name and address, please.
Yeah, Matt Breen, 1435 Edinburgh Drive, Troy, Ohio. We just went through a kind of politically polarizing halftime show and other competition on that. I just want to ask if there's any concern about this act being divisive. And then also you mentioned it tying in with the America 250 celebration. Is there an expectation or money coming from that organization at a federal level or state level as well?
I don't believe that they've got state or federal grants. We'll double check that, but I don't believe so. I believe we will be getting a small amount of funds through the grant program at the Miami County Visitor and Convention Bureau, who is one of the partners on this project. As far as political messaging with this band, I'm not aware of that ever having been an issue. They are an English-speaking band, and I anticipate that all of their songs will be in English. As far as political messaging, I'm not aware of anything like that at all.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions from the audience? Seeing none, can I ask the
Move
committee?
forward with
Move
emergency.
forward with emergency.
So it is unanimous to move forward with emergency as recommended. There are no other items to come before this committee, so we are adjourned.